In this video, we're going to cover 1.3 networking and cybersecurity. The first subtopic of network and security is topologies, and we need to know what a network is. And a network is more than one computer system connected together, allowing for communication and sharing of resources. And this means the advantages make it easy to share files, software, and hardware. You can log in from any connected computer and access your data. It can be monitored and controlled by an administrator. However, the initial setup costs is expensive because you need hardware. A network manager might need to be employed with specialist skills, and you're more likely to experience breaches, and malware can spread quickly over a network. A network topology is a theoretical layout of a computer system on a network, and you need to know the following topologies: a bus topology, a star topology, a mesh topology, and a ring topology. A bus topology: nodes are directly connected to a common cable called a bus, and there are terminators on each end. Packages are checked as they arrive at each address, and if it matches, it's processed. If not, it moves on to the next computer. The advantages are it's easy to implement and add more systems. This is ideal for a temporary network. It's quick to set up. It's cost effective due to less cabling. However, they are very hard to troubleshoot. Limited cable length means you can have a limited number of stations, and performance will degrade as the cable gets longer. And if the main cable breaks, the whole network is going to go down. And it also has low security, and data collisions are more likely. A ring topology: nodes are connected to two other nodes, and this provides a single path through each node. It travels in one direction, and packets are passed from one computer till the next until they reach their destination. Advantages means that data is transferred without a bottleneck. There is a consistent speed. It's simple because it goes in one direction, and adding extra nodes will not affect the bandwidth, and there are less likely to have collisions as data is traveling in one direction. Disadvantages are if a computer system fails, the whole network fails. If a main cable fails, again, the whole network will fail. It's very hard to troubleshoot, and adding a node will temporarily shut down the whole network. Star topology: this is where each computer is connected to a central node, and there are usually one or more switches and hubs to transmit the data to each node. This means that if a node goes down or a link goes down, the network stays up. Just that one device will be unable to access the network, and adding a new node will not disrupt the network. It has higher performance and security as the packets are sent directly to each node. However, this has large hardware requirements, so this can be quite expensive. And if the network fails, none of the nodes can communicate together at all. In a mesh topology, each computer is directly connected to each of the others, and then each node relays data for the network. This means that data can be transmitted at the same time from different devices, so it can therefore withstand high volume of traffic. And if one computer breaks, there's always going to be an alternative device. However, there's a high chance of redundancy. The overall cost is much higher than the other topologies, and it's hard to set up and maintain, especially the administration of the network. The second subtopic is hardware. And what you need to know here is what a local area network is. And this is a network that's situated on a single site and allows computers and devices near each other to connect. And a wide area network is used to connect computers that are not close together. And this allows LANs to connect to wider networks, for example, across cities, countries, and continents. And a virtual private network allows people to log into a network remotely and access its resources. This allows it to be accessed like a LAN, but over the internet. When it comes to physical hardware, routers are used to send data signals across the internet. They determine the best route for sending the data, and this is determined based on network conditions. Hubs are a small device that allows wide devices to connect to a network. However, they don't have any knowledge of what device is connected, and this means that data is sent to all of the devices, and this could slow down the network performance. Switches are very similar to hubs with one difference: it records which computer is connected to which port. Data can be sent direct to each computer. A gateway joins together two networks that use different base protocols, for example, a LAN to a WAN. A bridge joins together two networks that use the same base protocols, For example, a LAN to a LAN. And a wireless access point allows wireless connections to the network. It essentially creates its own wireless network and then sends the traffic onto the network. And they can also be used to extend the range of a wireless network. Packet switching. This is where a packet is a collection of data that's transmitted over a packet switch network. Data is split into a number of packets and will take different routes to the destination, and then it's reassembled when they've all arrived. The data that's included in a packet is the source address and destination address, information so that it can be put back into order, the data itself, and a checksum to check that if it's been corrupted or if it's still original. The protocols and the 7-layer OSI model is the next subcategory. Networking standards are rules that allow computer systems to communicate across a network. Standard means that all devices can exchange data and work together, and protocols are a set of rules that allow devices to communicate. Without shared common protocols, computers would not be able to communicate with each other. The first protocol is HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and this is a secure variant of HTTP, meaning that data is transported securely, and HTTP or HTTPS is used to transfer web pages over the internet. SMTP is a protocol that delivers emails from sender to an email server, and this is used to send emails between computer systems. Just as a note, there's also IMAP and POP3 protocols as well. The File Transfer Protocol, FTP, is used to transfer files across the network, commonly used to upload or download to or from a web server. TCP is the protocol that allows packets to be sent and received between computer systems. And IP, the function of an IP address, is to identify a device on a network, and this is what's included within packets of data. Ethernet, this is used for wired connections and is used at the data link and the physical layers. The 7-layer OSI model is a conceptual model which characterizes communication between two endpoints in a network. It's split into 7 separate layers, and each layer serves the layer above, and it's served by the layer below it. The 7 layers are the application layer, the presentation layer, session layer, transport, network layer, data link layer, and the physical layer. In the application layer, this provides interfaces to the software to allow it to use the network. This could include email applications or web browsers. The presentation layer is used to display data in a standard format that devices can accept and understand. The session layer establishes a connection between computers, allowing that data to be sent, and the data can be synchronized in each session to allow for efficient data transfer. The transport layer ensures that data is transferred from one point to another without any errors, and it's responsible for making sure it's sent and received in the correct order. The network layer moves data through the networks. It packages data with the correct information and selects the route and forwards it to the transport layer. The data link layer prepares and corrects data to be passed to the physical layer. And then the physical layer transports data using electrical, mechanical, and procedural interfaces responsible for sending computer bits from one device to another along the network. And the physical layer transfers the raw data, not the packets. And this is where you might get hardware such as switches and routers. When it comes to security, there are threats to a computer system, and you need to know the difference between malware, which is a software program which can perform a variety of different functions, and this could be stealing, encrypting, and deleting data, altering or hijacking core computing functions, and monitoring users' activities without their permission. You need to know how this differs with viruses, which is a program that can copy itself onto other programs with the intention of maliciously damaging data. Some examples of threats are worms. This is a self-replicating program that identifies vulnerabilities in an operating system, and it can enable remote control of an infected computer. Spyware is installed via attachments or infected software that's usually downloaded, and this is used to collect stored data without the user's knowledge. A Trojan is a program that appears or disguises itself as a useful function, but actually enables data to be stolen in the background. A brute force attack is a hacking algorithm that tries all combinations of lowercase, uppercase, special character, numbers, and symbols to gain unauthorized access to a computer system. SQL injection is a technique where malicious users can inject SQL commands into a statement via a web page input, and then this can alter the statements and compromise security of information held in the databases. IP spoofing is where an attacker changes the IP address of a legitimate host so that a visitor is taken to a spoofed website, and then this site is then used to steal sensitive data. Phishing is an attempt to acquire users' details using fake emails and websites. And social engineering involves tricking a user into giving out sensitive information, usually by posing as a legitimate system administrator. Denial of service does not attempt to break a system. It attempts to make websites and services unavailable by swarming them with fake requests. A denial of service involves a single internet connection where a DDoS or distributed denial of service attack is launched from multiple connected devices across the internet. Keyloggers are covert programs that capture keyboard or other input and transmits this data into a third party. Protecting against threats, we need to be able to identify vulnerabilities in computer systems, and the first steps to doing that is by going through some processes called ethical hacking, penetration testing, and footprinting. Ethical hacking is carried out by the permission of the system owner to cover all attack techniques, and they will attempt to bypass security for weak points and report back to the system owner, and then they go and make their improvements. Penetration testing is a subset of ethical hacking, and this deals with the process of testing a computer system to find areas that can be exploited. And footprinting, this is where all information is gathered about a system, and this then allows a tester to discover how much detail a hacker can find out about the system before attempting to hack. Antivirus software or anti-malware software performs a wide range of protection tasks, and these include scanning file servers and checking all files stored on the server, scanning emails by checking incoming emails to see if attached files are infected, protecting workstations to ensure all files from external media are scanned before they can be accessed, and any suspicious files are quarantined to be dealt with, and there's usually a list of suspicious files online that's constantly updated. The role of a firewall is to stop unauthorized access to a computer system via a network, and the functions of a firewall can include filtering data packets, blocking certain ports, following a set of predefined rules, blocking access to websites, blocking programs on the computer that access the internet, blocking certain downloads or asking for confirmation, and it can enforce additional authentication from the outside, and it can prevent users from accessing specific data, and it can limit outside access to specific parts of the system. User access levels is access where access to confidential files on the network is limited to authorized users by assigning access rights so that not everybody can access all the files. Passwords, making sure that unique usernames and strong passwords are assigned to everybody. And double authentication is where users must go through 2 levels of authentication to log in. And this is usually done via an email code, an authenticator app, or some other way of verifying who they are.